Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel, where we explore the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating history of numismatics. In today's video, we are going deep into the story of one specific and often overlooked coin, the 1980 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II Canada 5-cents coin. You may have seen this nickel before, or perhaps it's sitting unnoticed in a drawer or change jar. But what if we told you that this little 5-cent coin could be worth far more than its face value in today's collector's market? Stay tuned as we explore the full background, history, rarity, and the current market value of this intriguing coin in 2025. The year was 1980. Canada was undergoing a period of economic transformation, with inflation rising and significant changes in monetary policy. During this time, the Royal Canadian Mint continued producing circulating coinage, including the familiar 5-cent piece, also known as the nickel. The obverse of the 1985-cent coin features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait of Her Majesty was first introduced in 1965 and remained in use on Canadian coinage until the late 1980s. The reverse of the coin, designed by G. Kruger Gray, displays the iconic beaver sitting atop a rock, a classic symbol of Canadian wildlife and industrious spirit. The coin is composed of 100% nickel, with a weight of 4.54 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. Now, what makes this particular coin from 1980 interesting is not a missing mint mark in the traditional sense, but rather the lack of a mint mark altogether, which was standard practice for circulation coins from the Royal Canadian Mint during this period. In fact, mint marks were not routinely used on Canadian circulating coins until much later, especially for coins produced at the Ottawa facility. Many new collectors assume that the absence of a mint mark implies an error or rarity. However, for Canadian nickels from 1980, the absence of a mint mark is completely normal. Coins struck at the main Royal Canadian Mint facility in Ottawa did not carry a mint mark unless they were part of a special edition or collector's proof set. That being said, certain varieties, errors, or coins in exceptional condition from 1980 can be more desirable to collectors. This is where things get interesting. In the world of numismatics, even the smallest deviation from a standard coin can significantly impact its value. For the 1980 Canadian 5-cent piece, there are no officially recognized major error varieties from the Royal Canadian Mint. However, collectors and dealers have occasionally identified double die obverse or reverse impressions, off-center strikes, die cracks, or cuts. High-grade examples with strong mint luster and no contact marks. Coins exhibiting any of these characteristics are considered scarcer and can demand a premium in the collector market. As with all coins, the condition plays a crucial role in determining its value. The Sheldon coin grading scale is used to assess the coin's quality. Circulated coins with heavy wear typically grade between good and fine and are usually worth only face value or slightly more. However, coins that have been well preserved in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS 65 or higher by certified grading companies, can be worth significantly more. A pristine 1985-cent coin graded MS 67 by a reputable third-party service such as PCGS or NGC may fetch anywhere from $20 to $100 or even more, depending on market demand. Let's talk about what this coin is worth today. As of 2025, the average market value of a circulated 1980 Canada 5-cent coin remains close to its face value. However, coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition have seen a steady rise in collector interest over the past few years. According to current auction data and coin dealer listings, circulated examples typically sell for 5 to 25 cents depending on where. Uncirculated coins in MS 63 to MS 65 condition can sell for $5 to $15. Top-graded coins, especially those certified MS 67 or above, can command prices between $30 and $150. Error coins, if authenticated, may range from $50 to several $100, depending on the nature and visibility of the error. The increased interest in Canadian coins, fueled by a growing international base of collectors, has added momentum to the market. Coins from the late 20th century are now being re-evaluated, and coins like the 1985 cent piece are being scrutinized for varieties and mint state examples. So, should you hold on to your 1980 no mint mark Canada 5 cent coin? If the coin is in average circulated condition, it likely does not hold significant value beyond its historical interest. However, if you come across a high-grade coin with strong luster, sharp detail, or a potential mint error, it might be worth sending it in for professional grading. Collectors seeking to build full-date sets of Canadian nickels from the 20th century often look for pristine examples from each year, and this demand can boost the value of well-preserved coins. In summary, the 1980 Queen Elizabeth II Canada 5 cent coin without a mint mark is a common but still fascinating piece of Canadian numismatic history. While most examples are worth only a few cents, those in excellent condition or with rare features can be surprisingly valuable. As always, we recommend handling your coins carefully, storing them in appropriate holders, and seeking advice from trusted coin dealers or grading services before making any selling decisions. We are diving deep into one of Canada's most intriguing and elusive $quarter coins, the legendary 1985 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth II Canada 25 cents coin. Whether you are a passionate collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone who just stumbled upon this coin in your pocket change, you may be surprised to learn how valuable this coin can be in today's market. In this video, we will explore its origin, the reasons behind its rarity, historical significance, key identifying features, and most importantly, how much it is worth in 2025. In the year 1985, Canada was still producing coinage under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Her effigy, designed by Arnold Quin, had been featured on Canadian coinage since 1965, and the design continued into the mid-1980s. The 25 cents coin, commonly referred to as the Canadian quarter, was a staple of Canadian currency and everyday transactions. These coins were minted at the Royal Canadian Mint, headquartered in Ottawa. Typically, coins produced there do not feature a mint mark, which is standard for many Canadian circulating coins. However, despite that norm, certain errors and anomalies from specific years have captured the attention of collectors globally, and 1985 is one of those years. What makes the 1985 no mint mark 25 cents coin so fascinating is not the lack of a mint mark alone, but rather a unique combination of characteristics that set it apart as a rarity. The rarity of the 1985 Canada 25 cent coin stems from an intriguing die error. During minting, a small batch of coins was struck using an older obverse die, specifically from 1984, which led to a mismatch between the obverse and reverse dies. These coins display what collectors refer to as the 1985 no mint mark variety, or more specifically, the 1985 obverse of 1984 quarter. At first glance, the coin looks ordinary. However, upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that the Queen's portrait is subtly different, a slightly more mature depiction with less detailing in the hair. This indicates the use of the 1984 die on a coin dated 1985, which should have featured a revised portrait design. Because this die variety was produced in very small quantities, it remained unnoticed for years. As collectors began identifying and categorizing these coins, their rarity became evident, making them highly sought after in the numismatic world. So, how can you tell if your 1985 quarter is the rare variety? Here's what to look for. First, examine the Queen's portrait. On the regular 1985 issue, the portrait is slightly refined, with clearer and sharper detailing in the crown and hairline. In contrast, the rare version, using the 1984 obverse die, features a slightly rounder facial structure and softer detailing, especially around the curls of the hair and the crown. Secondly, flip the coin over to examine the reverse. The caribou remains consistent, showing no immediate difference from standard issues, but the obverse is where the value lies. You might also want to weigh the coin. It should weigh 5.05 grams and be composed of 100% nickel. These factors won't confirm the variety, but they help ensure the coin's authenticity. For definitive identification, many collectors send their coins to professional grading services such as ICCS or PCGS, where experts can authenticate and label the coin correctly. Due to its rarity, condition plays a major role in valuation. Coins in circulated condition typically fetch between 200 and 400 Canadian dollars, depending on where and overall I appeal. However, if you are lucky enough to own one in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those graded MS63 and above, values can skyrocket. In 2025, professionally graded examples in MS63 are trading for anywhere from $800 to $1,200. Higher grade specimens in MS65 and above have reached auction prices of $2,000 or more, reflecting both rarity and collector demand. Proof-like or specimen versions, if discovered, could command even greater premiums. However, it is important to confirm authenticity through a trusted grading authority, as counterfeits and altered coins have occasionally surfaced in the marketplace. The demand for this coin has steadily increased over the past decade. As more collectors become aware of this variety, its market value continues to climb. Unlike some modern commemorative issues that fluctuate in value, the 1985 no-mint mark quarter has established a solid reputation among Canadian coin collectors. It represents a true die variety, not a gimmick, and its scarcity is genuine. Only a small number have been confirmed in circulation, and fewer still have been certified by top grading agencies. Looking ahead, the outlook for this coin remains strong. As the numismatic community grows and more investors enter the collectibles market, unique die varieties like this one are gaining renewed attention. To summarize, the 1985 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II Canada 25-cent coin is more than just pocket change. It is a piece of minting history, a die variety born from a transitional era, now prized for its rarity and collectible value. If you believe you have one, take the time to examine it carefully. Compare it to known examples, consider professional grading, and always verify with experts before selling or buying. And if you're a collector, now might be the perfect time to search for this elusive quarter in rolls, collections, or even forgotten drawers. Who knows, you might just hold a hidden gem worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. We shine a spotlight on a modern mystery in Canadian coinage, the 2011 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 10-cent coin. This small silver-toned dime may seem unremarkable at first glance, but coin collectors and numismatists have long known it holds a secret. A curious omission. A missing mark. And a story that has transformed this ordinary-looking piece into one of the most talked-about modern Canadian coins in recent years. So how did this coin come to be? Why is it so rare? And why has its market value surged in 2025? Let's dive deep into the history, the mystery, and the money. The Royal Canadian Mint, known globally for its high-quality production standards, began issuing 10-cent coins with the familiar Bluenose schooner on the reverse and the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse in 1937. Over the decades, the design has remained relatively unchanged, with the primary distinctions between years being found in small details, mint marks, portraits, edge types, and die varieties. In 2011, Canada celebrated the 100th anniversary of the birth of the Royal Canadian Navy and issued a variety of commemorative and standard circulation coins. The 10-cent piece, however, was not part of any major publicized commemorative series that year. But something unusual occurred during its production. Most Canadian coins produced by the Winnipeg facility bear no visible mint mark, while those struck in the Ottawa branch may carry a special mark depending on the series. Yet, in 2011, a very small number of 10-cent coins were minted without the expected mint mark entirely, with no W, P, or other identifying stamp. This missing mint mark wasn't part of any planned variation. It was a die error, a minting anomaly that slipped past quality control in very limited numbers. The result? An unintentional rarity. Collectors began noticing this variety only a few years after 2011, as more coins began to surface in circulated rolls. Initially dismissed as ordinary, sharp-eyed numismatists discovered the absence of the mint mark on select dimes, and the demand began to rise. When I first saw the 2011 no mint mark 10 cents, I thought it was just wear. But under a microscope, the absence was clear. No signs of polishing, no ghosting, just no mint mark at all. That's when we knew it was something special. As more examples emerged, the Canadian numismatic community began classifying the 2011 no mint mark dime as a modern rarity. It was not just another error coin, it was a legitimate minting variety that could only be explained by a limited, early die strike without proper die identification. The value of this coin has appreciated steadily since its discovery. In the early years, circulated examples fetched between $3 and $5, while uncirculated or mint-state examples could command prices between $20 and $40, depending on condition and market demand. Fast forward to 2025, and the market tells a very different story. Today, in mid-2025, a certified mint-state 65 example of the 2011 no mint mark 10 cents has sold at auction for upwards of $350 Canadian. Lower mint state grades like MS-62 to MS-64 routinely sell between $100 and $200, depending on the eye appeal, luster, and strike quality. Even well-preserved circulated examples can fetch between $20 and $40 online, especially when sold to enthusiastic collectors seeking to complete a year-by-year Canadian dime collection. The coin's rarity is compounded by the fact that most Canadians would never think to check their dimes for such a small detail. Thousands, if not millions, of 2011 dimes remain in drawers, cash registers, and pockets, unnoticed. This adds a layer of mystery. How many are truly out there? So what should you look for to identify a genuine 2011 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth 10-cent coin? Inspect the obverse side, the one featuring Her Majesty's portrait. A standard 2011 dime will show a small mint mark near the base of the Queen's neck or under the bust. On the error variety, this mint mark is completely missing, with no evidence of tampering or die polishing. Experts advise using at least 10x magnification to rule out wear or damage. A clean strike, clear date, and absence of the mint mark are key. Certification by a reputable grading company like PCGS or ICCS adds authenticity and can significantly increase resale value. This is why collectors love the hunt. That unassuming dime in your change could be worth hundreds of dollars, if it turns out to be the elusive no mint mark variety. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin collecting journey, this coin represents a perfect blend of history, rarity, and modern intrigue. It teaches us that even in the digital age, tangible treasures still exist, often hiding in plain sight. The 2011 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth Canada 10 cents coin is more than just a rare error. It is a modern-day collectible, a conversation piece, and a small slice of Canadian minting history. And in 2025, its value has never been higher. So check your change, explore your coin jars, and who knows, you might be holding onto a dime that's worth a fortune. The 1992 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 10 pence coin. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary piece of everyday pocket change, but make no mistake, this coin holds historical significance, a story of minting anomalies, and potentially substantial value in today's market. Let us begin with the background. In the year 1992, the Royal Mint of the United Kingdom underwent a major change in the production of its 10 pence coins. This was the first full year that the Royal Mint transitioned from the larger-sized version of the 10 pence piece, which had been in circulation since decimalization in 1968, to a smaller, more compact version. This change was part of a broader effort to reduce metal content and make coinage more efficient in terms of both cost and public use. The 10 pence coin from 1992 features the familiar profile of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maclauff. This portrait had been used on British coinage since 1985 and was known for its elegant and dignified representation of the Queen. Now, most 10 pence coins minted in 1992 were struck with a mint mark. These marks are often subtle and go unnoticed by the average person. However, There is a rare and extremely limited variety of the 1992 10-pence coin that was struck without any mint mark at all. This anomaly is what makes the coin a sought-after rarity among collectors today. The absence of a mint mark may seem like a small detail, but in the world of numismatics, such an omission can elevate a coin from being a simple everyday object to a prized collectible. The Royal Mint has not provided an official mintage number for these no mint mark coins, which only adds to their mystery and desirability. Some experts believe that only a few hundred, or possibly even fewer, of these coins were mistakenly released into circulation before the error was discovered and corrected. To understand why the no mint mark variety is so important, we need to look at the context. The Royal Mint was producing coins for both circulation and collector sets at the time, and minting equipment would sometimes be adjusted or repaired between production runs. It is believed that a batch of 10-pence coins struck in 1992 lacked the standard minting inscription due to either a technical oversight or a die that had not been properly engraved. Because these error coins were not supposed to exist in official release, the 1992 no mint mark 10-pence has gained a near-mythical status. Over the years, only a handful of verified examples have surfaced on the open market, and when they do, they often command impressive prices. So, just how much is a 1992 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 10-pence coin worth in the year 2025? As of this year, verified examples in uncirculated or near mint condition can sell for anywhere between £300 to over £1,000, depending on their certification and overall condition. Graded coins authenticated by reputable agencies such as the Professional Coin Grading Service or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation tend to attract the highest bids. Collectors are particularly interested in coins with full luster, no signs of wear, and crisp, sharp details. Coins that have been kept in sealed presentation packs or protected shortly after minting often fare the best in auctions and private sales. Circulated examples, though less valuable, are still highly prized and can fetch between £50 and £200 if they are in good enough condition. Even those with light wear may still be worth far more than their face value. What makes this coin especially valuable is not just its rarity but also its story. Collectors love a good mystery, and the 1992 no mint mark 10-pence is a perfect blend of human error, limited availability, and historical transition. In a market saturated with millions of common coins, this one stands out as a true anomaly. In 2025, with the growing popularity of online marketplaces and coin collecting communities, demand for rare British coins is at an all-time high. The numismatic market is experiencing a renaissance, as more people seek tangible assets with historical value and potential for appreciation. Coins like the 1992 no mint mark 10-pence are increasingly seen not only as collectibles but also as investment opportunities. If you believe you might own one of these coins, it is strongly recommended that you have it professionally examined. Look closely at the reverse side of the coin, and if you see no mint mark whatsoever, especially on a 1992 dated 10-pence piece, you may be in possession of a truly rare and valuable find. Professional grading and authentication will help establish its legitimacy and maximize its resale value. Be cautious, however, as the rarity of this coin has unfortunately led to counterfeits and altered coins appearing online. Always seek advice from a trusted numismatist or a coin dealer with a strong reputation. In conclusion, the 1992 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth 10-pence coin is one of the hidden gems of modern British coinage. With a compelling backstory, extreme scarcity, and significant value in the current 2025 coin market, it represents everything that makes coin collecting so fascinating. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, keep an eye on your change. You never know what history might be hiding in your pocket. The 2010 Queen Elizabeth II 5-pence coin, specifically the rare and mysterious version that lacks a visible mint mark. We'll cover everything from its historical context, design significance, rarity, collector demand, and most importantly, its current market value in 2025. If you're holding on to one of these, you may want to watch this video until the very end. In 2010, the Royal Mint released millions of standard 5-pence coins into circulation in the United Kingdom. These coins bore the familiar portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and featured the segment of the royal shield on the reverse, part of the shield of the royal arms, designed by Matthew Dent, which when pieced together with other denominations, forms the complete shield. The 2010 issue was part of the standard circulating coinage and struck in nickel-plated steel. However, amid these millions of coins, a very small number have been discovered to be missing a critical detail: the mint mark that usually appears on the obverse side of the coin, just below the neck of the Queen's portrait. Typically, all UK coins struck by the Royal Mint bear some form of identification, either visibly or through internal markers, denoting origin or mintage specifications. In the case of the 2010 5-pence coin, the absence of the mint mark suggests that it may have been part of a special strike, an unintentional error, or possibly a limited test or trial piece. Regardless of the cause, the numismatic community has taken serious interest in these coins, as their rarity far exceeds that of the standard 2010 issue. So how rare is it, really? To date, numismatists have reported only a small number of confirmed 2010 5-pence coins lacking a mint mark, with a few surfacing through circulation and private collections. No official mintage figures have been released by the Royal Mint regarding this variant, further fueling the mystery and demand. The scarcity of this coin makes it what collectors call a modern key date, a coin from recent times that, due to a rare error or anomaly, commands significant value in the secondary market. As of this year, authenticated examples of the coin have fetched between £150 and £450 depending on their condition. Coins in average circulated condition tend to sell for approximately £150 to £200, while examples in extremely fine or uncirculated condition have been listed for as much as £400 or more, particularly through private auctions and high-end numismatic dealers. Some enthusiastic collectors have paid a premium for certified coins graded by reputable third-party grading services. A coin graded MS65 or higher can easily push the upper range, especially as the interest in Queen Elizabeth II coinage continues to rise following her passing in 2022, which significantly increased collector interest in her portrait series. First, examine your 2010 5-pence coin under good lighting and a magnifying glass. Look just below the neck of the Queen's portrait for the mint mark. If it's absent, you may very well be holding a rare coin. Next, verify its authenticity by comparing it with images from trusted numismatic sources. If you believe it's genuine, consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional grading service. This can greatly increase both its credibility and its value. And here's a quick tip: always handle rare coins by their edges and store them in protective holders to prevent damage. Even minor scratches can reduce a coin's value by a substantial amount. The 2010 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 5-pence coin is one of those remarkable modern rarities that remind us all why coin collecting remains so exciting. A tiny detail, barely visible to the naked eye, can turn an ordinary coin into a hidden treasure. With confirmed examples being extremely scarce and high demand from collectors, this coin stands out as one of the most valuable modern 5-pence pieces in circulation today. If you're lucky enough to find one, it could be worth hundreds of pounds, or even more in the future, as supply continues to shrink and demand grows. The numismatic world rewards curiosity, research, and patience. And sometimes, it rewards it with a coin that's worth a lot more than face value. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin-related content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update on rare coins, market values, and numismatic discoveries. Have a coin you want us to cover? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your stories and see what treasures you've uncovered. Until next time, happy collecting.